The Wednesday Bookmark on Family Radio CHRI. Each week we introduce you to something new, something that'll make you think, something that might change your life. Here's this week's author interview on the Wednesday Bookmark on Family Radio CHRI.
Joining us this week for the Wednesday Bookmark is Jonathan J.P. Pokluda. Jonathan is lead pastor of Harris Creek Baptist Church in Waco, Texas, and former leader of The Porch, where he saw the ministry grow to more than 7,000 young people. We're going to talk this morning about his latest book. It's called Outdated: Find Love That Lasts When Dating Has Changed. Jonathan, so appreciate your time this morning.
Brock, thank you so much for having me on. Excited to be with you.
In this book, you take on what you believe to be the 12 most common lies that people believe about dating. So let's see how much ground we can cover over these next 10 minutes or so. Lie number 1 is the purpose of dating is to have fun. What is the purpose of dating as you see it?
Yeah, so I think the way the world takes it on is just like it's an adventure, manic highs, manic lows, I love you, the emotional roller coaster. We kind of want to live that reality show romance life. And the truth about reality shows is they're entertaining because it's two lives colliding like a train wreck. And we love to watch people cry and the mascara running down the face and the interview in the camera. And you kind of want your dating relationship to be more intentional to that with the end in mind, the end being to have a healthy marriage where two people love each other sacrificially. And I think we've lost sight of that as a culture today in the 21st century. And so what does it look like to date with the intentions of marriage where the dating is the interview. The interview for a job is not the fun part. Getting the job, that's when you celebrate. But when you date and you don't have those, you don't know where it's going, it leaves everyone open for heartbreak, everyone open for confusion. People are wondering, hey, are we just friends? Where is this going? Is it okay that we've been dating for 3.5 years? And so those are some of the challenges. And so I would say dating is a pathway to the promise. And I want to date efficiently and effectively, thinking about, okay, how do I quickly really determine if this is somebody that I want to spend the rest of my life with, and how do I do that efficiently? And when you do that, it can be a whole lot of fun. Dating the world's way, it's fun, but it also is full of heartbreak and anxiety and confusion. And anxiety, confusion, and heartbreak are not that much fun.
Mm-hmm. One of the things you talk about in Chapter 2, Singleness is a Problem to be Fixed, is this concept of the gift of singleness. And some people may wonder, first off, if that's even a thing to begin with. And secondly, How would one know whether or not they have such a gift? Yeah.
And so the singleness is a problem to be fixed is the lie. Just to clarify that is something that the world believes that is not true, because the Bible, God's word, actually elevates singleness and the call of marriage. In 1 Corinthians 7, verse 7, the Apostle Paul, inspired by the Holy Spirit, says that singleness is a gift. And he's really plagiarizing the words of Jesus in Matthew chapter 19, where Jesus says, not everyone is called to singleness, but those who are should remain single for the sake of the kingdom. And so Jesus who was single, Paul who was single, they both elevate the gift of singleness. And I would say, there's a quiz in the book Outdated that you can take, and it's really one question to determine if you have the gift of singleness, and it's 100% accuracy. I've never seen it miss it on anybody. And so as you think through that, it's really about how do I use this gift if I have it, not try to lose it. So many people want to exchange that gift. They want to look for a different gift. They don't like the gift they received. But if you woke up today single, then you have that gift to use for the sake of the kingdom. And so what would it look like for you to deploy that gift for God's purposes?
Lie number 3 is this: you have to find that one person made just for you who was created around the same time you were, and they're out there lost in the world of 8 billion people. Do you not believe, Jonathan, that God has specially designed one romantic partner for each of us?
Absolutely not. So I do believe in the sovereignty of God. I know that he can see the future. But we can just look statistically, that doesn't work out based on the numbers. If there was just one person for every person had one person for them. I mean, there's an unequal number of people. Also, you have some are called to singleness, so we realize that. We just covered that. And the truth is, as we look through history, 50 years ago, there was a strong likelihood that you would marry someone that was born within 5 miles of where you were born. Well, now with dating apps and the internet and technology, that statistically has changed dramatically. And so we're not looking for one person. Most people hearing this could find a lot of joy and contentment marrying over hundreds of thousands of different people. And so we're looking amongst God's people, people who God has their heart. We could have an amazing marriage with a number of people. And so on one hand, that sounds so stressful, like a needle in a haystack. I have to find this one person throughout this world and 8 billion people. That's so stressful. The good news is you're not looking for just that one person. And the more good news is it's really you're looking throughout a relatively small group of people. So that's a lot easier to find. We've narrowed it down. And amongst that small group, you could make it work with a lot of different people. The vast majority of marriages fail. The divorce rate's around 50%. The marriage satisfaction rate amongst those who remain married is fairly low. And so most marriages, the vast majority of marriages fail. And it's because I'm raising the point because most people don't think about it this way. The truth is I can happily be married to a number of people, and I need to find them by looking only amongst God's people. And when you do that, and Outdated walks you through this, when you do that with intentions, the satisfaction rate is extremely high. Those people find a great marriage, and I've had the privilege of having a front row seat for tens of thousands of those relationships.
This ties in really nicely with your discussion in a later chapter on the compatibility myth, and I found that to be one of the most interesting sections of the book. Are you saying that the very idea of compatibility itself is false?
Not necessarily. People, we can have common interests, but there is no complete compatibility between two sinners, and we all are sinners. We're all given and prone to selfishness. And so the reality of marriage is that I am putting my own interest aside to serve someone else. I'm putting my own preferences aside to sacrificially love someone else. And if we go into it with those expectations, we're setting ourselves up for greater success in marriage. Compatibility and chemistry can be manufactured, and we see that on reality shows all the time. The problem is it doesn't last, because if I marry someone because we both love rock climbing, right, and that's the foundation of our marriage is that common interest of rock climbing, and then 2 years into marriage they fall while rock climbing and they have PTSD and don't want to go anywhere near rock climbing. They don't even want to see it or think about it. Well, now the whole foundation of our marriage is crumbled because the thing that we found the most compatibility in is no longer there. And so we need to go into this with a common bond under God in Jesus Christ and understand that our interests may change, but really we're here to serve each other.
Yeah, great point. Okay, one of the final lies that you tackle, we're just moving along like so briskly here, but is you know when you know, and you hear people say that. If it's not true that you just know when you know, then how are we to know when we've found a good marriage partner for us?
You use the right words there, Brock, because you really are looking for a partner. Dare I say, you're looking for a partner to do ministry with. And there's nothing in life where I would look for a partner and I wouldn't base that search on criteria. Like if I'm hiring somebody for a job, then I want to know what they're going to be doing, and I want to know what skills they need to do that job well. So it really starts when we're looking for a partner with understanding the assignment of marriage. What is marriage? And it's not just this opportunity for intimacy. It's not just this roller coaster of emotion. It really is. There's a job requirement there. There's some specific skills that help someone be really great at marriage. Well, I want to understand what the assignment is so that I can identify what those skills are. When my wife, Monica, sends me to the grocery store looking for milk, she's very specific. Like she says, you're looking for milk, but she describes you want 2% organic, blue cap, blue label, this brand, 1 gallon of milk. She says that all parenthetically, like this is the milk you're looking for. And so when I'm going through the milk aisle, I'm searching for that description. And when I find it, I don't open the refrigerator door and think, well, how do I feel now? How do I feel about the milk? Do we have chemistry? Do we have compatibility? No, I've looked at the list and I look at the milk, and when it meets the requirements, I commit to it. That's the way we look for everything in life. She would never send me to the store. It's like, hey, just walk through the grocery aisle and you'll just know when you know what we need. It's like, no, we don't do that with anything. Why would we do that with one of the most important decisions of our life? To find something, we have to know what we're looking for. And to know what we're looking for, we have to know what we'll be doing with them, what the assignment is. Once we understand the assignment, then we can determine the skills they need for the assignment. And once we determine the skills they need for the assignment, then we can identify when we found the right person.
There are several more lies tackled in the book that we didn't even touch on. There's a lot more here. We'll have to leave it there, but I think we've whet the appetite. I hope that we have. Again, the book is called Outdated. Find love that lasts when dating has changed. Jonathan J.P. Pokluda, our guest this week for the Wednesday Bookmark. Really enjoyed the conversation. Thanks so much, Jonathan.
Thank you so much, friend. I hope you have a great day.
The Wednesday Bookmark on Family Radio CHRI. To find out more about this week's bookmark or hear the author interview again or to discover previous books highlighted on the Wednesday Bookmark, visit bookmark.chri.ca.